Now, there are a few pair of angles that make special pairs. For example, here we have angle ABC and angle DEF. Angle ABC is 32 degrees and angle DEF is 58 degrees. What happens if I add them together? 32 plus 58 would equal to 90 degrees. So that means that if I put these two angles next to each other, it would create a 90-degree angle. We call this a complementary angle. Complementary angles are pairs of angles that would add up to 90 degrees. The way I think about it is if I do something right, people would give me compliments. They'll compliment me. So complement, if you see the word complement, think about right things to do, right angle. So complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90 degrees. Now for the second pair of angles, we have 63 degrees and 117. What happens if we add those two together? 63 plus 117 would add up to 180. So when you have a pair of angles that add up to 180 degrees, we call that the supplementary angles. Angles that add up to 180 degrees. What my student came up with is that if you look at the first two letters, S and U, I could make 80 out of it. If I put a 1 in front, it will give me 180. So supplementary angle adds up to 180. Now for these two angles right here, angle 1 and angle 2, I don't have measurements. I can't add them together because I don't need to. These are just called adjacent angle. If you're sitting adjacent to somebody, that means you're sitting right next to them. So adjacent angles are just two angles right next to each other. This side right here in the middle is called the common side because this side belongs to both those angles, angle 1 and angle 2. Now here we have two lines that intersect each other at one point at point T. If you noticed, it makes a V shape. The V helps us remember that this pair of angles is called vertical angles. What's special about vertical angles is that angles opposite of each other are congruent, meaning that the measurements are equal. So measures of angle STV is congruent to the measures of angle WTU. And same thing with these two. The measures of angle STW is congruent to measures of angle VTU. So these four are special angle pairs that you should know about. Complementary angle, supplementary angle, adjacent angles, and vertical angles.